Welcome to All Things Social Security. My name is Stephanie Joy of Joy Disability. I am a Social Security disability attorney, and I would like to invite you to watch our daily video tips on the Social Security disability and SSI claims process each day at the new time of noon Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube on this channel. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our live Q&A live stream. So you are welcome to join that as well. Ask your questions, get there on time, and you'll be one of the first answered. Thanks so much and have a great day. Enjoy the video. Good morning and happy Sunday. This is Social Security Roundup for the week of September 1st, which was last Monday, until, let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think the 6th was Saturday, right? Okay, so what did we have? Maybe I'll slide this over here. Make it a little easier. On the 1st, there was a little ditty, which was a tip to keep people in the know about whether or not there are attorney's fees that can be drawn generally from future benefits if there are no back benefits. How does that fee get paid or not paid? On Tuesday, the 2nd, we talked about the reopening of an old denied claim. And that might have been, both of those might have been Q&A clip outs with some follow-up information. On Wednesday, the 3rd, we had the question and answer regarding whether the alleged onset date, and this was a particular question for a DAC child, should it be exactly on the 18th birthday, should you allege, or if they were younger children when they became disabled, or perhaps disabled from birth, or the impairment was from birth, but there was never any program in which they could go get deemed disabled. Would you pick 18 since DAC only applies to 18 to 22, or would you pick earlier? And reasonable minds could probably differ, so I just share my perspective on that. On the 4th, this was about, I should also say that on Wednesday, we had our Wednesday live Q&A at 1 o'clock, the lunch hour Q&A, and that was fun, as always, with you guys. Wednesday night, I joined Jonathan Ginsburg on his weekly evening, it's late at night live stream, and that again was super fun with him answering questions and all. On Thursday, we have the replay with all of the pauses and reading and scrolling cut out of it of the Wednesday live stream. So if you ever need to replay it, at least you don't have to sit through some of that very boring time when I'm scrolling. That was Thursday. Friday was our standard Friday fraud law review, and this concerned a convicted felon from Honduras who was guilty of various kinds of fraud ×3. At least some of it was ×3. There was Social Security fraud, illegal U.S. entry. That was the ×3. So I guess deported a few times and came back in and then stole from Social Security or otherwise engaged in Social Security fraud. And then Saturday, yesterday, this was a discussion about age, disability, and whether one would be a strong case or not. It was, I believe, a share from a Q&A also. And that's what we have, guys. And then upcoming this week, we have a few things such as, is there a reason not to file for your employer's long-term disability that they offered and that you have eligibility for? If you are filing for Social Security disability, we go into that. There's also something next week about how to mitigate perhaps a refusal to have surgery or a decision not to have surgery when you are a candidate for that surgery with regard to your disabling impairment. We have something else about, and again, I'm not sure what days these will all come out. They'll probably be out next week. This is for SSI parents, and it was a discussion with a viewer, how to report cash payments of perhaps some debts that you incurred while the child that you are supporting, and that SSI is to support, had a pending case. And then when you get those back benefits, how do you pay those loans back or certain bills like that when it's just going to be cash given to the person to pay them back, and how you can protect with a little bit of more astute reporting of that and documentation. All right, guys, that was it for the week. I hope you all had a great week, and I hope you're having a great weekend, and I hope you have a peaceful Sunday. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully on Wednesday at 1 p.m. for our upcoming week's live stream Q&A, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye-bye. It's still Sunday. Did you miss last week's Social Security Roundup? Not this week that you just heard, but the one prior to that, and want to catch up? I'm attaching it now. Have a great day. Bye. It's Sunday, TGIS, maybe. Hope you all had a great week and a better another weekend. It is Labor Day weekend. So just for a quick Sunday Social Security roundup for last week, what we had on the channel was, looks like Monday the 25th. So this will be the 25th through August 30th. So Monday, we had a little ditty about protectively filing, which means your whole full application isn't done yet, but what it does and doesn't do for your case. On Tuesday the 26th, we had just a little share about some of the overlapping and related or confusing issues between SSD, SSI, Medicaid, and Medicare, because they apply to different things in all of those realms. On the 27th, so that would be what, Wednesday, we had a little discussion. I think it's because it came up in one of the live Q&As. So I pulled that one. It was about stress and whether it's a disability or is it not a disability? What is it and how it might be used for your case, particularly if stress is affecting you negatively or your conditions. Also on Wednesday, we had our live stream at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like every Wednesday. So it was good to see a lot of people there, and I hope to see you this coming Wednesday too. Thursday would be the replay with all of the silences and scrollings to read people's questions and line them all up with all those eliminated. So the replay comes out in the taped version on Thursday, which it did, which was a miracle because YouTube was having issues, but it did get out. Friday's fraud law review, of course, and this one was about a Peruvian national who did a medley of fraud, including that related to Social Security, immigration, passport, and yes, transgender fraud. Interesting that. Then we have Saturday, yesterday. This was a share about the Social Security emergency message, although I don't know that it was emergency, but it was discussing the enhancements for pro se claimants to be able to upload their medical files directly to the SSA through their SSA online account. So that's super huge for pro se people to take advantage of that. There's always complaints, understandably so, that they send their records in, whether it's by fax or by mail, to the address noted by the adjudicator in their case when they're at initial or recon up at the medical workup office, the DDS, and it never seems to get there. Same is true if they give it in at their field office with the expectation and understanding that it's going to be forwarded to the DDS to where their case is going to be medically worked up. And lo and behold, it never makes it. So whether it is a technical glitch, it doesn't make it there, whether it is a dropping of the ball by a staffer, it really doesn't matter. Here you can upload it directly yourself and you can see that it's up there. So that's pretty huge, guys, I've got to say. And that was Saturday. So that was our week. What do we have coming up? We have coming up, I'm not sure of the queue order, but we're going to be talking about a little ditty about attorney's fees and whether they can come from future benefits, a little touching on reopening an old denied claim, in case people were unaware that sometimes that's possible, and then another share about refusing surgery and how to mitigate some of the negative connotations SSA may take from that, how you can show that it's not indicative of not being a severe impairment or having huge limitations. So we go into a little bit about that. And that's all I can see in front of me. So that's all we basically have so far lined up. There will be more coming out shortly, I am sure. So anyway, I hope you all have a great rest of your holiday weekend, whether you are working or not. And I want to thank everyone who's ever been a worker, everyone who plans on being a worker, and even if we're not working today, if we all contributed to the state of the workforce in the past or will in the future, it's a great place to be, and it is something that I'm very grateful for when people do that. It helps not just themselves, but everybody else as well. So, all right, guys, have a great week. I will talk to you soon. Hopefully, I'll see you on Wednesday. And of course, our daily 12 noon shares on the channel recorded. Thanks, guys. Bye.